Hello everyone. I've been pushing back this video for a long time, but even though this is one of my most popular videos after Naruto was the son of Obito, this is one of my first ever what ifs that I actually got finished with after what I'm gonna get finished with. But I've been pushing back the video because I didn't really know. I went in there dry. The reason why I went in there straight dry is because I didn't know really what to do for this video. But now that I know what I'm gonna plan is, let's get straight into this video. Without further ado, this is What If Goku and Naruto Were Siblings. Let's begin. It shows off, kind of like at the beginning of Boruto, it shows a scene. It shows a scene of a guy with red eyes wearing a robe with clouds on it. And it shows Sasuke next to him. Sasuke says, "It's time to settle our differences." Naruto and Goku are beat up and exhausted. Goku says, "I'm not giving up yet. Sasuke, you don't have to go through this path." The guy with the reddish purplish eyes say, "Sasuke, attack them." Sasuke would charge towards them with one eye Sharingan, one eye Rinnegan, charging right towards them. Sasuke would pull out his sword, and Naruto would pull out his a weird red pole, a staff thing. They would eventually clash, and then it would say, "What if Naruto and Goku were siblings?" Then it'll cut to Naruto talking to Jiraiya sometime before that event at the beginning. Goku and Naruto were, during the 3-year time skip, they actually learned some new techniques. Naruto eventually developed one style Rasengan Shuriken earlier, and so would Goku. Goku unlocked one style Gale Fist, which is basically a one style Gale Palm, but instead of shooting wind out of his palm, he shoots like a fist of air at somebody, doubling the power. He also unlocks an S-rank ninjutsu called Lightning Style Chidori Stream, but this one's way different than Sasuke's Chidori Stream. What the user does is they focus, they form a Chidori in their hand, place it on a surface or a thing or a person, and creates a lightning wall, lightning floor, or a lightning person in general, and shoots eventually lightning spikes out of that thing or user. And Naruto would eventually get KCM1, but he would not know how to fully grasp it. And I feel like they would also learn, they wouldn't learn Sage Mode just yet, because I feel like Naruto and Goku would not be eager to learn Sage Mode. But I feel like since Dry Season students, he would master Sage Mode. Naruto and Goku would come back to the village. "I'm back! Naruto Uzumaki is back!" But as he's saying this, Sakura sees them and starts flirting with Menma. Menma does the same thing, but he's not really that interested. He's more interested in getting Sasuke back to the village. Because if you don't remember, Sasuke left the village. Naruto, Menma, and Sakura would do the bell test, easily getting the bells from Kakashi Hatake. And I will have another video up. I'm confirming this for real. What if Naruto was at Hatake? Okay? Alright, now let's get straight back into this. Naruto and his brother Menma, or Goku, would basically hear about Gaara, and I feel like after he met his father, he got really inspired by him. That's what I kind of did with Goku's concept art for Teen Goku. Goku would say hi, would eventually say goodbye to the hidden Konoha again and go to find Gaara. Gaara would eventually be captured, and since Sakura decided to do healing ninjutsu, would come up the cure to heal the best boy, Pinocchio. I'm calling him Pinocchio because he uses puppets. One of Gaara's siblings. Taneri will eventually be there. Is that her name, Taneri? Yeah, I think that's Taneri. Yeah, I think her name's Taneri. Taneri would be there to help them this time instead of being in Konoha. They would eventually find Gaara. But seeing Gaara's lifeless body there, Sakura and Old Lady Chiyo would eventually fight the 100 puppets. Minma and Naruto would fight. I can't remember his name. Sorry, real life Naruto fans can't remember his name. But Naruto and Minma or Goku will go into KCM1, blitzing towards him, and both using a ginormous Rasengan. I know I'm making them overpowered, but there will be sacrifices that will be made. Trust me. Ginormous Rasengan. Instantly killing him without a doubt. Naruto will realize Minma will realize Gaara is dead, and Kurama will look at him. I bet you need some of my chakra. Minma would look at Kurama and say, why would I need your chakra if basically I mastered your chakra? Kurama would look at me, basically see Minato in this kid. You remind me of the fourth Hokage. Now, Goku would take that as a compliment, being called after his father. But eventually that wouldn't happen. Minma would wake up seeing Gaara right next to him, talking to everybody and thanking him. He'll be so confused because he's like, just a second ago, Gaara was dead. And then Sakura would tell them, Naruto and Sakura would tell them eventually what happened. Ren and Chiyo gave up her life for Gaara's. Since Gaara's not Jinchuriki like the others, well, basically, he would still treat Gaara the exact same, but he would be even closer to. Ever hearing what Kurama said to him? He reminds him just like the fourth Hokage. He decides to learn the Flying Raijin marks, but we basically learn Flying Raijin. Over the period, Sakura will still get Kabuto as her spy. Well, still no, that's Kabuto. Is a spy. And tell them when Orochimaru's meeting up. So, Naruto would eventually head over to the hideout. But before that happens, they have to Kakashi use his Kamui. Well, he didn't use his Kamui, so it's going to be Kakashi, Sai. Well, they wouldn't need a third member, so Sai wouldn't be in this arc. But I feel like Danzo would find a way to get Sai in this arc. So while they're waiting, he decides to learn Flying Raijin. His brother Naruto really didn't want to know. He just wanted to hang out after all those 3 years of training with Jiraiya. Naruto's so overconfident that he's gonna be the strongest. He's gonna be the strongest ninja ever to live, and gonna be stronger than the Hokage. He slacks on his training a lot, but now Minma doesn't. Minma eventually learns Flying Raijin easily, just like his father Minato, and makes his own special kunai. It's like a red kunai with purple flames. Well, yellow flames. And he also learns how to put seals on people too. So when him and Naruto are eating ramen, he grabs Naruto and pats him on the. Well, he pulls at Naruto for a hug, but he's not really giving Naruto a hug. He's just finding a way to put a Flying Raijin mark on Naruto, just in case Naruto needs any help. He also puts one in his bed. Puts a Flying Raijin mark. Well, puts a Flying Raijin kunai in their house. And before they go, they'll see Jiraiya, and he'll put a Flying Raijin mark on Jiraiya. So eventually, Naruto and them would go leave to meet Orochimaru. As soon as Naruto sees Orochimaru, Naruto goes berserk, like canon. But when Naruto's about to go berserk, right as he was about to transform, he would Mimo would teleport Naruto somewhere in the woods. Naruto would calm down and decide to sit there and wait after what his brother said. Mimo would go in KCM1 and easily destroy Orochimaru. Kabuto would try to stop him, but he would get teleported. He'd get teleported where his kunai were. Mimo would throw a kunai and teleport Kabuto right there, getting the kunai in his hand. Kabuto would see that he knows Flying Raijin and decides to stop. He cannot stop. And then he sees another kunai above him and says, "What is that?" And then he just sees Minma pop up with a ginormous Rasengan and destroys Kabuto with that, slamming him into the ground, knocking him out instantly. Now it cuts back to Naruto sitting there, deciding to help his brother by throwing a explosion shadow clone into the air, really telling his brother that he won't be mad. So he teleports his brother back to the fight, and his brother goes in KCM, and so does basically he does too. They would fist bump, and they would both see Illuminous shadow shot of two Narutos in KCM with two Kuramas fist bumping, but they wouldn't be in KCM 1. Naruto's Kurama would still be mad at him, but he'll give Naruto a little bit more chakra than Mima. But Mima's Kurama gives him KCM 2, unlocking KCM 2 in only a few years. One unlocking KCM when he was only a little kid, and the second time unlocking KCM, he would eventually meet Kushina Naruto would never meet Kushina in this timeline until a Pain arc. I'm putting quotation marks. You can't see it, but I put in quotation marks around Pain arc. Naruto and Minma would destroy Orochimaru and eventually locate one of Orochimaru's hideouts. They would see Sasuke laying there. Sasuke wondering how they got there and starts attacking them. But Minma would easily punch Sasuke into the ground, putting a Flying Raijin mark on Sasuke. And then eventually he sees somebody appear right next to Sasuke. Sasuke says, "You, Naruto, Minma, nice to see you again." And he charges up a Chidori, charging straight towards Naruto. Seeing his brother in danger, all he hears is "Naruto" by Sakura, and sees Sasuke shoving a Chidori in Naruto's shoulder. But Minma misplacing where he thought he stabbed him right through his heart. Naruto would eventually fall unconscious from the blood loss. Minma would see his brother laying there, and Sasuke with basically a Chidori in his hand and still blood. Sasuke would eventually tell this masked man with clouds and a swirly mask he's ready to go. As they're slowly... Minma actually never felt this pain in his life. He now knows it really feels like to lose something valuable. He knows what pain feels like. And Nagato and Pain combined, their pain, times that by 2. You see Minma's pain. Minma is filled with rage. His eyes are boiling red. His KCM flashing into an orangish red, turning orange to red. Eventually, Kurama sees this and says, "No." He unlocked the ancient transformation. The red hot habanero only achieved this transformation. He used his mother's red hot temper, mixed with rage, mixed with KCM2, making the red hot habanero KCM2. See, The only way you can get the Red Hot Habanero KCM is your mother has to be Koshina Uzumaki, and you have to have the Nine Tails. And you have to befriend the Nine Tails. So you're kind of screwed if you're not gonna be able to get it. He would go straight to Sasuke using his flying rising mark and punching Sasuke and grabbing the masked man and slamming his head to the ground, cracking his mask where the Sharingan is supposed to be at. Then he would run straight towards freaking Sasuke and shove a ginormous Rasengan towards him and easily knocking Sasuke out with only one hit. He would charge towards that masked man and throwing a kunai straight at the masked man's face. Throwing that weird kunai that he got, kind of like his father's, at the masked man's face. But it goes straight toward inside of him. And Himenma's like, what? And then he's like, oh, I see. And then he teleports right behind him. And then he'll eventually see that his flying rising marks is linked, all his dad's flying rising marks are marked to his. So once he misses that first Rasengan, he quickly teleports right behind him and says, Massive Rasengan Barrage! But he only sees one of them, so he's like, how's this a barrage? And then before he knows it, he looks up and sees thousands of shadow clones with massive Rasengans. It's pommel him. Obito's his mask will eventually fall off, revealing that it's not Madara Uchiha, it's Obito. Kakashi wouldn't be there this time. Seeing his former ally, Obito, he would eventually say, Obito? And Kakashi would look the will to fight. He would eventually kamui him and Sasuke out of there and decide he needs to make his move now. It's either now or never. So he goes straight up to Pain. He decides to tell Pain to start the invasion on the Hidden Leaf ASAP. That's what Pain exactly does. 2 days. And 2 days after them back, Naruto wakes up. He's fine. He's hugging his brother. He would say he thought he lost him. But eventually, they would hear, Almighty push! And a big explosion, causing everything to go white. And that's where I'm going to be leaving this part off, of what if Goku and Naruto were siblings. Tell me if you guys like this part. And I'll see y'all guys in the next part.